Today, for this demonstration, I would like to show you how to do a paintboard. A paintboard is an effective tool used in the ministry by preachers and evangelists to help tell a story. I have had some experience in the ministry using paintboards with my dad, who he has done this his whole life, so I've done it my whole life. So I thought it'd be fun to share this and how to do this. The first thing that I want to do is how to prep the board. The first step to prepping the board is to create a border around the board. This will help bring your paper out, and it makes the paper look a little more professional. The next step at creating the board is to create 2 yellow boxes with black outlines on them. These will help with your points in the story that you're going to tell. The top box is going to have a cloud around it with some sun rays coming out. The second box is going to have a hill over it, and next to the hill you're going to have a little tomb right here. After you've done that, now you're going to do the 3 horizontal lines and 3 vertical lines on the left side, or right side of your paper. On the left side you're going to put A, B, and C. After you've completed doing your prepping, now you can go on to the story. When you first tell the story, the first thing you want to do is talk about God and who God is. It helps to tell the people what God has done, how like Genesis 1:1 is a good way. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And then just elaborate a little bit on what God has done and how God has created earth and how He's created us. The next person you want to bring into the picture is you. A good way to bring this person in is to create statements that will introduce this person. Like, you wake up with this person every morning, you brush this person's hair, you brush their teeth, you feed them. These are good indicators of you. And then you want to fill in you. After you've done that, you want to go into sin, and you want to talk about sin. A good method of talking about sin is the big I problem. I want to do what I want to do, and it doesn't matter what God or His Word says about it. And then tell what sin did, how sin had created a barrier between man and God. And then tell them how we as people try to get to God through certain ways. Like we try to go to church, or we try to pray, give offerings, and we do stuff, but there's always a barrier in the way, and that is sin. And God knew, and then you want to tell how God fixed that problem. God knew that we could not get to heaven by doing it on our own, so He sent Jesus to die on the cross to take away our sins. And then you want to emphasize that He was buried, and then He rose again. And then you want to show that He took away our sin because He died on the cross. So now that we can get to heaven. And make sure you emphasize that. Once you finish that, now we can go into the invitation. We're going to use the A, B, and C. A is admit, B is believe, C is call. When you talk about admit, you want to say how we want to admit that we are sinners and how that we have sinned and hurt God. And then we want to believe that Jesus did come to the cross to save us from our sins. And then we want to talk about call and how we can call on Jesus and then we can be saved. And there is now an effective way on doing a paintboard.